Dawn breaks over Tennessee River waters, April 6, 1862. 40,000 sleeping Union soldiers lie unaware in sprawling camps. Through morning mist, Confederate forces advance silently toward Pittsburg Landing. Grant's unprepared army faces complete annihilation. War's bloodiest day begins now. Your breakfast coffee steams beside your rifle. Distant gunfire erupts, growing louder every heartbeat. No trenches dug here, no fortifications constructed. Your commander remains 9 miles downriver in Savannah. Thousands of enemy bayonets emerge from woodland shadows before you. Stand, run. Ulysses Grant jolts awake in Savannah's Cherry Mansion. His ankle throbs violently from yesterday's riding accident, boot leather still cutting swollen flesh. Cannon thunder rolls upriver like an approaching storm. Something catastrophic unfolds at his encampment this morning. He hobbles toward the docked steamboat immediately. This Tennessee battlefield will shatter every previous record of American bloodshed within 48 hours. 24,000 men fall dead or wounded. Generals perish. Entire reputations crumble. One army desperately fights for mere survival. Another seeks total, complete destruction. Everything changes here forever. Support our channel. Subscribe so you won't miss exciting new videos. Your likes and comments inspire us to create more quality content. Together, we'll make this channel a place of knowledge and inspiration. Thank you for your support. Colonel Everett Peabody commits insubordination before sunrise. Against explicit orders, he dispatches 250 soldiers into darkness beyond Union picket lines. His unauthorized patrol discovers something terrifying moving through dense woods. Confederate infantry columns, thousands upon thousands. Peabody's disobedience saves Grant's entire army. I am Benjamin Prentiss, division commander. Peabody's warning reaches me at dawn. Rage fills me initially. Who authorized this patrol? Then reality crushes down like collapsing building. 40,000 screaming Confederates charge directly toward my unprepared position. I scream orders hoarsely. Battle erupts with savage fury. Confederate Commander Albert Sidney Johnston believes this April morning decides the entire war's western theater forever. Destroy Grant's army before Buell's reinforcements arrive from Nashville. Drive Union forces backward into Tennessee River depths. Reclaim ground lost during February's humiliating defeats. Johnston personally rides forward, urging soldiers onward. Union camps dissolve instantly into absolute chaos. Raw recruits scatter toward riverbank safety. Officers shout contradictory, useless commands. Confederate bullets tear through canvas tents where breakfast bacon still sizzles over campfires. Many soldiers never fired loaded weapons before this terrifying morning. Panic spreads faster than any orders. Grant boards steamboat Tigress downriver. Injured ankle, possibly requiring crutches, though later he denies this detail vehemently. His weathered face reveals absolutely nothing. He issues calm, measured directives while sailing directly toward catastrophe unfolding upstream. True leadership measured not by absence of fear, but by response under pressure. Prentiss desperately reforms his shattered division along ancient sunken road near dense oak forest. General William Wallace brings fresh reinforcements urgently. They dig frantically into natural depression. Nearly perfect defensive position discovered. Confederates must cross exposed open ground to reach dug-in defenders. This place becomes known as Hornet's Nest. You are Confederate infantry advancing across blood-soaked field toward that mysterious sunken road ahead. You march since pre-dawn darkness. Close friends lie dying behind your advancing line. Enemy rifles flash continuously from earthen ridge before you. Orders demand forward movement regardless. Your trembling legs refuse. You advance anyway. Johnston personally leads multiple charges against stubborn Union positions throughout morning. The general believes visible, courageous leadership inspires ordinary soldiers during desperate moments of crisis. He rides conspicuously among frontline troops, waving his ornate sword dramatically. Confederate attacks gain significant ground everywhere, except that impossibly stubborn, sunken road position. Victory seems inevitable. Grant arrives Pittsburg Landing mid-morning, surveying complete disaster. His entire army retreats on all fronts simultaneously. Thousands of terrified soldiers cower uselessly beneath steep riverbank bluffs, refusing to return to battle. Grant surveys catastrophe without visible emotion or panic. He sends urgent messages. Hold positions until Buell's reinforcements arrive tonight. The Hornet's Nest defenders pour murderous volley after volley into advancing Confederate ranks relentlessly. Thick gunpowder smoke obscures all vision. Deafening noise drowns every attempted communication. Men reload mechanically, fire, reload again, endlessly. Confederate bodies pile grotesquely before their defensive position. Still gray-clad soldiers come. Hours blur together under merciless sun. Johnston rallies exhausted troops near Peach Orchard, now blooming delicate pink amid surrounding carnage. Around 2:30 afternoon, single bullet strikes his right leg behind knee, severed femoral artery. Blood rapidly fills his leather boot. Johnston dismisses wound as trivial. Minutes later, he topples unconscious from his saddle, dead. Imagine bleeding to death while your long-sought victory hangs within easy reach. Johnston's personal surgeon lies severely wounded elsewhere across this vast battlefield. A simple tourniquet application would save his life completely. Nobody applies it. Nobody realizes. The Confederacy's highest-ranking general dies alone under blooming tree while soldiers fight nearby. General Pierre Gustave Touton. Beauregard assumes Confederate command unexpectedly. He completely lacks Johnston's instinctive aggressive nature. Beauregard sees only exhausted troops, mounting casualties, stubborn Union resistance everywhere. He orders assault continuation half-heartedly, but precious momentum falters noticeably. Leadership transition costs invaluable hours during battle's most critical moments. Union forces retreat everywhere across battlefield, except Hornet's Nest position. Prentiss and Wallace stubbornly hold their sunken road fortress against overwhelming odds. Confederates surround them completely by late afternoon. Escape becomes mathematically impossible now. Still, they fight desperately. Their courageous sacrifice buys Grant invaluable time, establishing final defensive line near river. General William Wallace attempts desperate breakout from total encirclement. Bullet tears completely through his skull. He dies days later, never regaining consciousness. Command falls entirely to Prentiss now. 2,200 men trapped. 62 Confederate cannons surround their shrinking position. Mathematics offers only annihilation or surrender. Choose quickly. Time expires. I am Prentiss. I surrender around 5:30 evening, handing my sword to Confederate Lieutenant Colonel. 2,200 prisoners march south. Some call me coward publicly. Others recognize my sacrifice saved Grant's entire army from destruction. History judges harshly those who surrender regardless. Context matters infinitely more than judgment. Grant establishes final defensive line at Pittsburg Landing's steep bluff. Artillery positions overlook all approaches perfectly. Navy gunboats Tyler and Lexington anchor offshore with massive heavy guns. Exhausted Union soldiers dig hasty entrenchments frantically. Night falls mercifully. Beauregard halts attacks believing tomorrow completes inevitable Confederate victory. He miscalculates fatally. Confederate soldiers sleep tonight on captured Union ground. They believe Grant's army defeated, finished. Morning will complete destruction. Beauregard telegraphs Richmond proclaiming great victory achieved. His soldiers pillage abandoned Federal camps desperately seeking food. Nobody suspects massive reinforcements arrive throughout this dark night. Nobody imagines tomorrow's reversal. Grant stands alone in darkness beneath Riverbank Bluff. Cold rain begins falling steadily. His army bled terribly today. Thousands dead, thousands fled. Yet, General Don Carlos Buell's army of Ohio ferries across Tennessee River, even now. Lew Wallace's division finally approaches after inexplicable day-long delay. Tomorrow brings vengeance. Sherman finds Grant sheltering under dripping tree near midnight. The red-haired general expects retreat orders. Instead, Grant says coldly, "Lick them tomorrow." No discussion, no debate. Sherman nods, understanding silently. Defeat transforms into iron determination. Leadership defined by precisely such moments. Words matter less than conviction. Tomorrow decides everything. Fresh troops disembark throughout night continuously. Buell brings 20,000 men. Wallace adds another 6,500. Union forces now outnumber Confederates significantly. Grant plans coordinated assault across entire front. Beauregard remains completely ignorant of this critical numerical shift. Dawn brings terrible surprises sometimes. Mathematics decides battles. Numbers never lie. Wounded men scream throughout darkness. Medical tents overflow. Surgeons amputate limbs by flickering candlelight. Rain intensifies. Living soldiers huddle miserably amid corpses. Tomorrow promises worse horror. Yet, something fundamental shifts tonight. Defeated army transforms into instrument of vengeance. Morning cannot come soon enough. Blood demands blood. War's mathematics require balancing. Grant refuses sleep despite exhaustion and throbbing ankle. He coordinates reinforcement positioning personally. Issues detailed attack orders, studies terrain by lantern light. Some generals rest before battle. Others obsess over details. Grant belongs to latter category. Control through preparation, victory through relentless planning. Nothing left to chance, everything calculated. Dawn approaches. Confederate soldiers wake April 7th expecting easy victory. They captured Union camps, seized supplies, drove enemy toward river. Their own losses stagger imagination, but triumph justifies sacrifice. Beauregard orders advance at dawn. His scouts report nothing concerning. Everything feels inevitable now. Yesterday's victory becomes today's trap. They miscalculated fatally. 6 o'clock morning, April 7th. General William Nelson's division from Buell's army launches surprise attack on Confederate right flank. Lew Wallace strikes Confederate left simultaneously. Grant's battered divisions advance center. Coordinated assault across 3-mile front. Confederates stagger backward in shock. Yesterday reverses. Today belongs to Union. Your confidence shatters instantly. Yesterday you advanced victoriously. Today fresh Union divisions attack from multiple directions. Your comrades lie dead across yesterday's battlefield. Ammunition runs low. Where did these reinforcements come from? Who miscalculated? Retreat beckons seductively. Pride demands standing. Survival demands running. Choose now. Death approaches either way. Union soldiers fight with desperate fury today. Yesterday's humiliation demands immediate redemption. They recapture lost ground yard by bloody yard. Confederates resist fiercely, but exhaustion takes terrible toll. Sleep deprived, ammunition short, outnumbered now, Beauregard's army begins fragmenting under relentless pressure throughout morning hours. Collapse approaches. Momentum shifts decisively. Sherman's division advances through identical ground where it retreated yesterday. Familiar landmarks appear transformed by carnage. Dead men from both armies lie twisted in unnatural positions. Sherman ignores horror completely, focusing on the tactical objectives. Reclaim lost camps. Push Confederates back. Redeem yesterday's failure through today's victory. Nothing else matters now. Beauregard finally comprehends his terrible situation. Enemy reinforcements arrived overnight. His own army exhausted. Numerical advantage gone. Strategic surprise lost. Yet retreat means admitting failure. Abandon captured ground. Waste yesterday's sacrifices. He orders counterattack, desperately hoping to salvage something from impending disaster. Pride costs lives. Always has. Always will. Confederate counterattack initially succeeds. Union advance halts temporarily. Fierce fighting erupts around recaptured positions. For brief moments, Beauregard's desperate gamble appears justified. Then superior Union numbers assert themselves ruthlessly. Fresh divisions outflank exhausted Confederate defenders. Gray lines buckle, reform, buckle again. Collapse approaches. Mathematics proves relentless. Numbers never lie. Support our channel. Subscribe so you won't miss exciting new videos. Your likes and comments inspire us to create more quality content. Together, we'll make this channel a place of knowledge and inspiration. Thank you for your support. Grant coordinates attacks from horseback despite injured ankle. He rides between divisions issuing precise directives. No panic today, no confusion. Yesterday's lessons applied ruthlessly. Union forces advance in organized waves. Artillery supports infantry movements. Cavalry screens flanks. Professional military operations replace yesterday's chaotic scramble. Organization triumphs over courage, always does. You are Confederate infantry fighting third consecutive day without sleep. No food since yesterday morning. Ammunition nearly exhausted. Officers dead or wounded. Friends gone. Union troops keep coming in endless waves. You fired your last cartridge minutes ago. Fix bayonet. Stand or run. Honor or survival. Choose now. Buell's fresh divisions prove decisive. They attack with energy yesterday's fighters completely lack. Confederates cannot match this vigor. Every Union gain becomes permanent now. Recaptured artillery, retaken camps, reoccupied positions. The tide turns visibly as morning progresses into afternoon. Victory materializes from yesterday's defeat. Mathematics decides everything. Numbers never lie. Lew Wallace's division finally contributes after missing yesterday's battle entirely. His troops advance on Union right flank aggressively. Confusion and miscommunication delayed them 24 hours. Wallace seeks redemption through aggressive action today. His division pushes Confederate left backward steadily. Yesterday's failure transforms into today's determination. Redemption costs blood. Always does. Confederate ammunition wagons run empty. Artillery falls silent for lack of shells. Infantry conserves remaining cartridges desperately. Union forces maintain steady fire. Superior logistics decides battles as surely as courage. Beauregard watches his army disintegrate. Retreat becomes survival necessity. Not tactical choice now. Pride costs everything. Survival demands humility. Mathematics proves relentless. Noon approaches. Confederates hold increasingly tenuous positions. Each Union assault gains ground. Casualties mount horrifically on both sides, but Federals replace losses with fresh reserves. Confederates have no reinforcements. Mathematics of attrition dictates inevitable outcome. Question becomes timing of retreat, not possibility. Beauregard faces reality. Defeat tastes bitter. Survival tastes worse. Grant senses Confederate collapse approaching. He orders general advance across entire front. Union divisions surge forward together. Coordinated pressure overwhelms fragmented Confederate resistance. Beauregard's army fragments into retreating clusters. Organization dissolves. Rout threatens. Disaster looms unless immediate withdrawal orders come. Beauregard chooses survival. Wise choice. Only choice. Defeat acknowledged finally. I am Beauregard. Retreat abandons yesterday's gains. Admit defeat after claiming victory. Face criticism for Johnston's wasted sacrifice. Yet continuing fight risks army destruction. Survival versus pride. Living soldiers versus dead reputation. I choose survival. I order retreat to Corinth. Defeat acknowledged. History judges harshly. I accept judgment. 2 o'clock afternoon. Confederate forces begin organized withdrawal southward toward Corinth. Union troops pursue cautiously. Grant's army too exhausted for vigorous chase. Both sides fought beyond human endurance. Let them go. Battlefield secured. Victory confirmed. Tomorrow organizes pursuit. Today claims triumph. Survival matters more than glory. Always has. Union soldiers reclaim camps they abandoned yesterday. Destruction everywhere. Personal belongings scattered. Tents shredded. Supplies pillaged. Death saturates familiar ground. Yet they survive. They fought. They won. Relief overwhelms exhaustion. Some weep. Others stare numbly. Victory tastes like ashes sometimes. Always costs too much. Never brings joy expected. Sherman reports to Grant after Confederate withdrawal. Both generals appear transformed by 2-day ordeal. Mud-covered, blood-spattered. Exhausted beyond measure, Sherman acknowledges Grant's leadership saved the army. Grant credits Sherman's tenacity. Mutual respect forged in fire. Partnerships born in crisis endure forever. Words unnecessary. Understanding complete. Tomorrow begins again. Battlefield aftermath reveals horror beyond imagination. 24,000 casualties in 2 days. Bodies everywhere. Wounded crying for water. Medical personnel overwhelmed. Burial details begin grim work. Peach orchard blossoms drift down on corpses. Beauty and horror coexist. War makes philosophers of survivors. Death makes everyone equal. Mathematics proves relentless. I am Grant, sitting exhausted beneath a tree, near Pittsburg Landing. My ankle throbs. Body demands sleep. Mind replays 2 days repeatedly. Close call. Terribly close. Another hour yesterday, and Confederates reach river. Buell arrives just in time. Luck or providence? Does distinction matter? Survival matters. Nothing else? News spreads north of terrible battle in Tennessee. Newspapers publish casualty lists. Towns throughout North and South receive telegrams. Gold Star service begins. Nation confronts war's true cost. Romantic notions of glory vanish. Reality documented in 24,000 reasons for grief. Mathematics never lies. Death counts accurately. War continues regardless. Critics attack Grant immediately, caught by surprise, nearly destroyed, saved only by Buell's arrival. Demands for his removal flood Washington. President Lincoln faces pressure to replace him. Lincoln responds, "I can't spare this man." He fights. Political courage matches battlefield courage sometimes. Lincoln understands war. Critics understand nothing. Beauregard's army reaches Corinth defeated but intact. Confederates claim victory based on first day's success. Ignore second day's retreat. Declare tactical triumph. Human nature prefers comfortable lies over difficult truths. Both sides claim victory. Casualties reveal actual outcome. Dead don't lie. Mathematics proves relentless. Numbers tell truth always. You write home tonight, describing 2 days' horror. How do you explain watching friends die? Describe fear during charges, admit wanting to flee, confess killing men who look like neighbors. You write, "We won a great victory." Some truths stay buried inside forever. Letters lie, survivors know. Dead know better. Prentiss and his captured soldiers march toward Confederate prison camps. They discuss their stand at Hornet's Nest, 6 hours holding impossible position. Bought time for Grant's defensive line, enabled Buell's arrival. Sacrifice created victory. Yet, they're prisoners now. History judges outcomes harshly. Context matters. Nobody cares. Defeat remembered regardless. Grant organizes modest pursuit next day, April 8th. Exhausted troops chase retreating Confederates half-heartedly. Brief skirmish at fallen timbers. Then, pursuit ends. Grant lacks strength for sustained chase. Beauregard escapes. Critics cite this failure too. Perfect victories exist only in imagination, never reality. War teaches humility. Always has. I am Sherman riding across battlefield, surveying devastation. I commanded division here, led men who now lie dead. Questions haunt me. Could different orders have saved them? Better positioning, earlier warnings? Commanders carry survivor guilt forever. Responsibility weighs heavier than rifle. Victory costs too much. Always does. Union surgeons work through nights amputating limbs. Anesthesia supplies exhausted. Men bite leather straps during operations. Screams echo across blood-soaked field. Medical science proves inadequate for industrial-scale warfare. Wounded suffer. Long after shooting stops. Victory's price calculated in shattered bodies and minds. Mathematics proves relentless. Numbers document horror accurately. Rain continues through the week following battle. Fields become mud. Burial details struggle. Shallow graves everywhere. Markers improvised. Many dead never identified. Families wait for letters that never come. War's true casualties include those who survive their missing forever. Grief knows no mathematics. Loss defies calculation. Memory outlasts death. Grant consolidates control of western Tennessee. Shiloh opens path toward Vicksburg. Mississippi River campaign begins. Strategic victory despite tactical near disaster. War's momentum shifts permanently. Confederacy loses initiative. Long Union advance south commences here. Shiloh proves hinge of western campaign. Mathematics decides wars. Numbers never lie. Momentum determines outcomes. Soldiers on both sides understand something changed at Shiloh. Early war innocence vanished. Romantic notions died with 24,000 casualties. Grim determination replaces naive enthusiasm. This war continues years. Many more battles coming. Survival becomes objective. Glory forgotten. Endurance matters now. Mathematics proves relentless. Numbers document truth. Ulysses Grant survives Shiloh's political aftermath. Lincoln protects him despite critics' demands. Grant learns from near disaster. Preparation matters. Intelligence crucial. Never underestimate enemies. These lessons serve him through Vicksburg, Chattanooga, eventually Appomattox. Failure teaches better than success sometimes. Mathematics decides wars. Grant understands. Critics don't. Beauregard faces criticism for losing Johnston's gains. He evacuates Corinth weeks later without fighting. Replaced by Braxton Bragg subsequently, Shiloh ends his career effectively. One battle determines reputations. Unfair perhaps, reality nonetheless. History judges commanders by outcomes, not intentions. Mathematics proves relentless. Numbers document truth. Reputation follows results. The Hornet's nest becomes legend. 6-hour stand by Prentiss and Wallace. Bought time for defensive organization. Enabled victory through sacrifice. Military historians debate details endlessly. Participants remember only horror and pride. Heroism measured differently by those who experienced it versus those who study it. Mathematics documents sacrifice. Memory preserves honor. Shiloh. National Military Park established 1894. Veterans from both sides attend dedication ceremonies. Old enemies shake hands over graves of young selves. They fought here, survived, carry memories nobody else understands. Reconciliation begins with shared suffering, acknowledged by both sides. Mathematics documents casualties. Memory preserves humanity. Peace requires forgiveness. Consider what April 7, 1862 teaches about resilience. Yesterday's defeat transformed into today's victory. Reinforcements change everything. Persistence outlasts brilliance. Leadership during crisis defines commanders. Grant understood these principles, applied them repeatedly, won war ultimately. Shiloh proved crucible for future success. Mathematics decides wars. Character determines leaders. 24,000 casualties, bloodiest battle in American history at that time, eclipsed later by Antietam, Gettysburg, others. Each battle expands horror's definition. Each casualty list shatters previous records. War's mathematics prove relentless. Numbers dehumanize. Remember, each was someone's son, brother, father, husband. Mathematics documents death. Memory preserves humanity. Pittsburg Landing remains quiet now. Tennessee River flows unchanged. Peach trees bloom every spring, cannon silent, graves everywhere. Listen carefully though. Wind carries whispers, distant drums, bugle calls, rifle volleys echoing through time. History never truly silent. Shiloh speaks still to those willing to hear. Memory outlasts death. Always has.